answer the children gave sufficiently satisfying to prevent the question being asked again moments later.
Disneyland,
the boy answered once, and the girl did everything in her power not to laugh. Laughing at Granny would certainly not have been kind. At the cliff top they walked a little way before pausing to rest, positioning the chair so grandmother could watch the azure sea smash the cliffs far below. The two sat on a patch of dry grass, legs crossed, squinting at the horizon.
"Do you really think Granny feels anything?" the boy said. "I don't."
The girl sighed.
"No. Is it kind to let her live like this? If she was an animal, she'd be dead, wouldn't she? Either eaten or starved." "True, but we're different, aren't we?" "I suppose."
A soft breeze blew across the cliff top, bringing with it Granny's hospitally smell. The girl recoiled, hating it and what it stood for.
"I think it's hard to know what the kind thing to do is sometimes. Remember when Duchess got caught in the trap? Grandad broke her neck and said, 'You have to be cruel to be kind.'"
The boy nodded. Though only 11 and 12, everything they had been through, upending their lives to be in this strange country just to look after a relative who had barely spoken to them when healthy, had aged them. There had been a dreadful inversion of the natural order. Mum cared for Granny, and they cared for Mum, making her sandwiches when she forgot to eat, covering her up when she fell asleep on the sofa, putting themselves to bed at night.
"Where are we going?"
their grandmother yelled, jerking her body with such violence that the chair started rolling down the slight gradient towards the cliff edge. The brakes. They'd forgotten. Both children sprang up, grabbing a handle each and stepping on a brake before the chair had a chance to build up a catastrophic momentum. They sat back down, nervous smiles on their faces.
"That was close,"
the girl said.
"Just a bit."
For a long time they listened to the ocean.
"Where are we going?"
Granny asked.
"Nowhere now,"
the girl said. The two children looked at each other, still smiling.
"Sometimes," the girl said, "I think Mummy wants us to have an accident up here."
"What do you mean?"
"I heard her say to Daddy once that it would be better for everyone if she were—"
The girl lowered her voice just in case and flicked her head at Granny.
"Dead. That your family was your duty, but that if she were gone there would be no choice. Then we could go home and things would be normal again. We'd get Mummy back, and she'd get Daddy back, and we could live in England again, and, we would get money from Granny's house. Wouldn't that be the kindest thing for everyone?"
The boy thought about this.
"It would be kinder on Granny too." "An accident?"
"Yes, an accident." After some time, they rose together without speaking. They each released a foot brake and returned to their patch of grass. The wheelchair didn't move.
"She's not really alive anyway,"
the girl said to reassure the boy.
"The harder it feels, the kinder you're being,"
the boy said to reassure the girl. Granny shifted her body again, and the chair began rolling. It picked up speed, wobbling awkwardly on the uneven ground. Again the girl managed not to laugh, even though it looked funny. The two children held hands. Then the wheelchair reached the cliff edge, slowing down where the land levelled out and rubbed up against a rock which stopped it from making the final plunge. The children waited. Granny would likely jerk again, only she didn't. She just stared out at the horizon. The boy stood up and began to collect stones, bigger than those in the courtyard. He made a pile between them on the grass.
"Where are we going?"
Granny asked. They aimed at the varnished walnut panel on the back of the wheelchair. Some hit the wheels. Some missed. Some didn't. Skitter, skitter, ping, conk. Part 1. A Mug's Game. Chapter 1. Tessa. Tomorrow would either be the best day of their lives.